Hey, coaches, it's Karen Paddock, and welcome to today's live training. I am super excited to talk about this. So, this is building business systems, the 30,000-foot view. So, if you are struggling with day to day tasks and day to day productivity, chances are you're so busy working in your business, you no longer have the view of on your business. Like, what does it look like to work on your business? So I'm going to just get signed in here so I can see your comments, and then we're going to jump off this starting point, and I'm super excited to have you here. So let's get going. All right, great. So I'll be able to see your comments. Fantastic. So earlier this week, in preparation for this training, I asked a question inside our group, and I asked, why are you struggling? Like, where are you struggling? How are you struggling with time management, particularly? And while I did get a lot of answers, I want to talk to you about, or share, I guess, a few of them with you. So one person answered, knowing what is the most important things to get done, prioritizing, working in the top 5%. So what she means by that, the top 5% of what you do is really going to be the main revenue drivers in your business, okay? The next response is trying to work a business while working full-time at the job that I'm trying to leave. I know that is the case for many, many of you. And we're going to talk about that as well, because you are in a situation, if you're working a full-time job and you're trying to fit in your side hustle, your coaching business on the side, you're in a different situation than someone that has all day, every day to work on their business, and you need to act appropriately. So we're going to talk about that as well. Another person said, wearing so many different hats with too many things to do, but not enough time. Creating regular social media content consumes much of my time. So if any of these are resonating with you, please comment, post in the comments, like maybe your thing is different, or maybe one of these is resonating with you. I would love to hear it. And then the last one that I wanted to share with you is this. One of the coaches said, one is creating too many to-dos that I can't get done. I think mostly not understanding what to focus on to move my business forward. I sit behind my computer busy, but not but not building clientele. And I think this is the case so often, right? Because yes, we're busy, we're doing lots of things, we're keeping very busy, but at the end of the day, when you're looking at your bank account or the number of clients on your calendar, are you really, is it what you want it to be or what it should be? So in my opinion, uh, and what I'm going to be talking about today is building systems is the key in your business to get more done in less time. Building systems is the key to getting more done in less time. And if any of you went through any of the recent trainings with my mentor James Wedmore that I shared with you, you know he always says your business is not your baby. Your business is not your baby. And believe me, I was in this situation for the longest time. I felt like my business was my baby, and it was very much an extension of me. It was very personal to me, and I was not running my business like a business. It was just, I was too inundated, I was too overwhelmed, and I was treating it like an extension of myself, like a baby. And so what I want you to do today is, give me one sec here. And what I want you to do today is just open yourself up to the possibility that this is not about task management. That if you truly want to run your business like a business, you have to stop thinking in terms of a to-do list and task management. Because every single time I do a call in here, or I ask coaches about where are they struggling, it's a lot of the same things that I just shared with you, right? It's more about, okay, my to-do list is so long, I can't get it all done. Social media takes me forever, all of these things. Well, that's because you're working in your business. And I'm not going to sit here today and tell you that you need to hire a bunch of people. I think you should be considering one person at a minimum of a few hours a week or a month even, soon. I think we all need help soon. However, at the end of the day, there is a way to focus yourself and work on your business while you're also doing the tasks. And I'm hoping that today I'm going to give you a completely different approach to this, because what you're doing now, if you commented or you are agreeing with anything anyone here said, then you are in a space where it's just not working. And there's no magic day that you're going to wake up and suddenly it's going to work. This task management long to-do list is going to be a thing that, oh yeah, this is working great. Because as long as you are the task manager, as long as you are the person that has this running long to-do list of all the things you think you should do in your business, and you're not working on your business like the owner of the business owner, you're going to find yourself overwhelmed. And I'm going to share with you that there are some things that you need to just take it off your plate. I don't care if we've talked about it on the podcast. I don't care how many people tell you that you should be doing this, 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 and this. At the end of the day, the number one goal in your business is to make money. Otherwise, you're not in business. Number one goal is making money. So this is where we're going to focus our attention, and we're going to reframe what we're thinking, and we're going to start looking at the 30,000-foot view of our business today. Next week, I'm going to do another training that's more granular. I promise you that. That'll be a little bit more about planning. But today, I want you to zoom out and stop thinking about a task list, a to-do list, and all the little things that you say, oh, but I have to get these done. Okay, well, how's it working for you? You're doing all the things. Is it bringing you clients? Guessing not, because if they were, you'd think that your system was amazing. And so I want you to just be open to reframing how you approach this. And listen, I have been there. Everything I'm saying don't do, I've done it. Every place that, I fumbled with a long to-do list, a long task list, I understand. That doesn't mean that I don't have certain things each day that I'm working on. I definitely have something that's guiding me each day, but every single thing that's guiding me is somehow tied to revenue generation in one way, shape, or form. One way, shape, or form. And I've given up on a lot of the other stuff. So I'm excited to share this with you. I'm going to look and see, like, guys, if somebody could comment here just so I know I'm seeing comments. My replies, live chat. Facebook loves to switch things up. Have you noticed that? So I would love it if somebody would just comment, say, hey, say hi. Let's see. I'm trying to see, where is the comment box? Okay. I am coming at you from Ecamm Live. So there we go. Shirley, thank you. Okay, she says, I used to be organized, but lately I'm a mess. Lucy says, hi, Karen. I am on Ecamm, I think. Yeah. So listen, guys, I'm broadcasting from Ecamm. I know it has the little comment thing in the top of the box, but that's because I'm broadcasting with Ecamm. And so that I can share with you some things about this training that I want to share, and I'll be able to pop them up on the screen. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring my notes back up. And that is not my notes. And we're going to move forward by talking about the next piece of this. What I see so many people doing, and I did this myself, and this is what I'm talking about, the strategic business owner thinking versus someone that started a business that works in their business. So really, you're just trading what you did at your job, and now you're just working at a job in your business. And I have done this for years. And so my transition into more of a strategic thinker, more of a CEO thinker, started 2 years ago. And now I'm bringing that to you. I'm bringing it to the forefront because I've made some great strides, particularly this year, huge strides. And I'm starting to really feel the benefits of it. And it doesn't take a lot to make these things happen. So first and foremost, overcommitting. You're overcommitting and you're saying yes to too many things. Yes to too many things can include, like the one gal said, I'm wearing so many different hats with too many things to do, but not enough time, creating regular social media content consumes much of my time. I love social media for brand awareness. I love social media for building relationships. That's it. That's where it ends. What's the next level? How do I start thinking as a CEO, as a business owner? How do I use social media to generate clients? And it isn't this passive, okay, I'm just posting every day, posting every day, posting every day. And then suddenly, boom, there's going to be this amazing transformation and I'm going to get all these clients. You do need to show up there, but is it important that you're there 5 days a week, 7 days a week? No, it's not. It is not. Is it important that you start thinking more strategically about your posts so that they're constantly coming back to what you do, how you serve, what you are bringing to the table? So we just recently had Shannon Hansen on the podcast, and she shared a lot of what her process is and how she uses workshops to get clients. She has a system, exactly what we're talking about here today, building a system. She has a system in place that takes clients from really like, okay, social media and paid ads into a workshop with her, and then some follow up, and then into a paid program. And she's killing it. $17,000, $20,000 months. She's killing it after she built the system. But here's what I want you to do. If you haven't followed her, go find her on Instagram, Shannon Hansen. You will see every single post she posts is about thyroid. Thyroid, 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 thyroid. End of story, bar none. Every single thing she does is talking about what she does. There's no confusion on what she does. So if you're showing up in that way, it should be easy to rinse and repeat 10, 12, 15 topics specific to your business, right? Better yet, you want to outsource that to someone else. Outsource it. So I just hired a social media manager for my business, help me with my social media. She's on the other side of the world. She's in the country of Georgia, I believe, and very inexpensive to hire her. She applied for the job. I interviewed her. She's doing great. We're working through some kinks to get her familiar with my voice. But every single week, I can see I'm doing less and less and less and less and less, which is that's how I'm thinking strategically. How can I outsource this? So every yes is a no somewhere else. Every yes means a no somewhere else. So when I was saying yes to doing my social media, which I have shared before, I've been doing since last December because I wanted to get a feel for what my audience was talking about. I found that I was having to say no to a lot of other things. I was saying no to revenue drivers. Now, I never intended to be my social media person forever, but I did let it carry on too long. So every single time you say yes to one thing, because you only have 24 hours in a day, you're saying no to something else. So as a strategic thinker, as at the 30,000-foot view of your business, what are the things you should be saying yes to? And what are the things you should be saying no to? Let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if this is making sense, guys. Meaning, in this particular case, if I'm choosing between, okay, I'm working on creating 3 new workshops, that's going to be a revenue driver in my business, or maybe for you, it's running a workshop so that you can enroll people in your paid program. What's more important, that or making sure that your social media, you're showing up on social 5 days a week, 7 days a week? It's crystal clear when you pull yourself out of the day-to-day task mentality, right? Shirley says, I'm very new to coaching and still trying to put it together. It's hard to do it with 5 kids. Oh, I'll bet. So your tips are always a lifesaver. Oh my God, my hats are falling off my head because the pile is too high. Exactly. And Lucy says, makes sense. Oh, exactly, right? And we all do this to ourselves. Guys, oh, if you knew like how many times I have pulled myself out of the mud because I love a good to-do list. See, and I'm a DIY kind of gal at heart, and I like to know how all the pieces fit together. So it has been a huge transition for me to say, okay, I need to have someone else that's in charge of a lot of the things that I'm doing because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I am not being strategic. So once I had that revelation, I said to myself, okay, what do I need to start changing? And then as I pulled myself to this 30,000-foot view, I realized, okay, the day-to-day things, I need to hire a couple people. I need help. It doesn't mean I'm spending a lot of money. I'm not spending a lot of money. The people that I hired are relatively inexpensive. Does not mean I'm spending a lot of money. And guess what? At the end of the day, I'm asking myself, as the CEO, once I get these things in place, I'm slowing down for a few minutes, but long term, is that going to allow me to spend more of my time on the things that only I can do, like being here with you here today, building my relationship with you, so that if I do offer something in the future, you'll say, hey, yeah, I want to work with Karen. I want to work with her. So these are the things where I'm putting my time. It makes more sense, right? So every no, or I'm sorry, every yes is a no somewhere else. And that if you're saying yes to, I'm doing my own social media, I'm doing my own website development, I'm doing my own emails, my own blogging, my own, guess what? You don't have any time to be the CEO of your business. You don't have any time to be working on discovery calls. You don't have time to be creating new programs, products, and services. You don't have the time if you had full time, even if you were working at this 40 hours a week. And then the people that are like the one gal said, I'm trying to do this on the side while I'm trying to leave my full time job, right? That is a bottleneck. So you have to be okay with a lot of no's, especially if your time is limited. Especially if your time is limited, has to be a lot of no's. No, I'm not going to post on social maybe once a week, but I am going to show up in my Facebook group live once a week because that is a way faster relationship builder than me creating 5 or 7, static image posts each week. That's thinking strategically. Where is your time best spent? Where are the relationship builders? Where are the revenue drivers? That's where you focus. And here's the thing, there are lots and lots and lots, thousands of entrepreneurs out there that are running multi 6-figure businesses, 7-figure businesses that have a couple thousand followers on Instagram, a couple thousand followers on Facebook. They don't have big followings. Big followings in social media does not equate to revenue. It does not. I wish it did, but it does not. And it might have used to, but with all the changes and the algorithms and this, that, and the other thing, anytime you spend on social needs to be directly pounding in what you do, who you are, how you help, what your specialty is. That is it, so that you get known as the expert. So there are opportunity costs every single time you say yes, every single time you say no, right? And if you're really in it to leverage your time and your activities, then you have to be clear on, this is how many hours a week I have to spend on my business. This is it. I have 5 hours, I have 30 hours, I have 2 hours. Whatever your number is, then use it wisely. Every single time you're planning your day, ask yourself, what is my top priority today to make money? Okay. It might be following up on booking some discovery calls. It might be, okay, I'm going to set up a workshop and deliver that, right? It might be actually making an offer. Hey, I'm having a flash sale. What is the revenue driver? Number one priority, bar none, day in, day out, every single business, every single business. So I'm going to look at a couple of your comments here. Shirley says, yes, money-making activities make more sense. Lucy, I feel like I have to be more organized and more concrete in what I need done before I hire someone to help me more organized and more concrete. Kind of like cleaning the house before the house cleaner gets here. Yeah, Lucy, I understand what you're saying. And guys, Lucy, I actually got to have a one-on-one conversation with Lucy last week, which was such a pleasure. So I kind of know a little bit more about her business. And here's the thing. You don't know what you don't know, first of all. When you're hiring somebody, you can have a general idea of what you want. Okay, well, I know I for sure want help with my social. I know for sure I need help with my blog. The rest of it will grow. The rest of it will grow. And so when I was doing my interviewing, I was making sure that when I was interviewing these people for these two positions, one of my questions was, are you available for growth? Like, this is how many hours, 8 hours a month I want you for right now, but are you going to be available for growth? That was important to me because if they weren't, if 8 hours was all they had, then guess what? They're not the right person for me because I can see as soon as I pass these things off, okay, this is great. Now I'm going to pass off the next thing and the next thing. And believe me, Lucy, as soon as you do it and you feel that relief, the pressure of doing all of the work yourself, it's going to free your mind to get to the 30,000 foot view where you will more clearly see what makes more sense to give this person in the future, right? So this is really cool. When we're in the trenches, guys, we cannot see clearly. So we have to just take a leap of faith with a baby step. That's what I just did. Hired somebody for social media. I already had my VA Isabel. I put her more in what it's called an integrator role. She's project management for me now. And then we got someone to assist her because she can't do it all either. And so 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours a month, that's all I hired for. It's a huge change already in a couple of weeks. And so you have to just start where you can start. Can you share how much from an overseas social media person that can handle my social media? Can you share how much? Okay, so I'm thinking you're meaning, okay, so this is Roxana. I think you're talking about the cost of it. So the gal that I'm paying is $16 an hour US, but there are people that will do it for much less. She has a lot of experience. I didn't want a newbie. I didn't want somebody for $10 an hour or $8 an hour. There were people that applied for that. I wanted somebody with experience. So that is where I started with her. I think that is a very reasonable cost. She's working on my social probably, I don't know, maybe an hour and 15 minutes a week. So we're talking about 5 hours a month. So worth it. If I can't make up that $50, $60, $70 in a month because now I'm not spending hours on my social media, then there's a problem, right? I need to think strategically. Am I going to be able to offset this cost? Heck yes. Heck yes. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going with my presentation and I'll come back to your questions. So I'm going to tell you again, stepping back, how I started working through this. I started thinking about certain days are for certain tasks only. Wednesdays are my podcasting day, once a month. Kathleen and I used to record every other week. And over time, we found our groove, and now we do 4 podcasts at a time in one day. Yes, it's a strenuous day. There's a lot to it, but oh my gosh, it's great when you get one thing done once a month. It's off your plate. Certain days are for certain tasks. Calls like this, I typically do them on Thursdays, training. So I come in this group quite often on Thursdays. My brand new BBD bonus experience group, those calls are on Thursdays. I know on Thursdays, I'm going to do my hair and makeup. I also know that today, because I have my hair and makeup done, what else is on my list? To record 2 videos for Facebook ads that I'm going to start running. So I'm already ready. I might as well just make it work. So starting to batch things and look for places that you can put similar type tasks, similar type responsibilities together, right? That's how I started. I told you, I've been at this like 2 years now, getting more strategic. But when you start to feel like your task list is too long, that every day is a blur, and you don't feel like you are focusing on your revenue generators, you need to pull back. You need to say, okay, stopping everything. I've done this so many times. Stopping everything and figuring out what is the glitch. I'm always the glitch. It's me. I'm the one making the decisions. I'm the one that's the bottleneck. I'm the one that's holding people up. That's why I said, Isabel, okay, you need to be like you need to be the project manager, not like she is the project manager on these big things that I want to accomplish. And you need to hold me accountable. You need to say, Karen, you're not working on the right things. Karen, you have a due date coming up, right? Until I put Isabel in that role, I was working on building these systems. I've been slowly, I'm the turtle, guys, slow and steady. I'm slowly putting these things into place. So when I was a health coach, I had all my days open, Monday through Friday, lots of calendar opportunities for my clients. And so one day I might have one client, and one day I might have two, and then the next day I might have none. And so every day I felt like I was interrupted from doing all the other things in my business that I needed to be doing. So what happened? I finally said, I felt like I needed to be available all times of the day for my clients in order to make them happy. And then I said, okay, well, I'm going to test something. I'm going to test only having appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are going to be my coaching days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's for creativity, building out programs, doing the other things. This was when I was a health coach. And guess what? When I switched to Tuesday, Thursday, I didn't have any grief. I didn't have any blowback from these people. None whatsoever. None of my coaching clients had a problem with it. They just made their appointments like, okay, if this is your availability, this is your availability. What a game changer that was. Game changer. So grouping like tasks. If you're going to have a call day, suck it up and make it a call day all day. Hold your meetings, have your coaching calls, do whatever you're going to do, your Facebook live streams, do it all in one day. Yes, it's a lot of talking. Yes, you're tired at the end of the day, but it's over. It's over and done, right? So I want you to start thinking about, as we are starting to think about wrapping up this call and pulling back, starting to think like from that 30,000-foot view. If you did that, I'm not asking you to implement anything, but if you did pull yourself back to the point of, okay, I want to start thinking more strategically. I want to start thinking like the digital CEO. What would I do? So what tasks should you be in charge of? What types of tasks or projects should you be in charge of? And then if you were to start thinking down the road about outsourcing, what things would you start outsourcing? And so this is piggybacking, Lucy, off of your comment. You don't even know what you would do. Well, you kind of do know what you would do. You would give up those things that really anyone can do for you, that doesn't require you to be successful. Do I need to be part of my social media? No, I don't. Do I need to be the one that uploads my blog onto my WordPress website? No, I don't. I Somebody else can do it probably 10 times more effectively, absolutely 10 times more effectively than I can. Absolutely. So start now, just like in a planning phase. Take yourself for like out to coffee or out to lunch one day and give yourself an hour and just say, okay, I have two columns. If I'm this like amazing digital CEO, what does this look like? Well, it's going to look like discovery calls. It's going to look like sales on your program. It's going to be some type of webinar, workshop, challenge, jumpstart, boot camp, something to get people going, right? Some kind of event or something to get them excited. And then there's going to always be the selling part, because that's what you do. When I was just promoting Business by Design, I did more sales calls for that program than I've ever done before. I probably did, I would say close to 12 sales calls, 10, 12 sales calls in a matter of a few days. I I have never done that many sales calls before, for especially for somebody else's program. When I was doing my own health coaching, of course, I was getting on discovery calls. And when I had my business coaching, I had a strategy session that I would, but they were always spread out. So it is a great reminder to me that, okay, there's just a system that I follow. There's a system for every single call that I do. I run through the same system with every single person that I do a call with, right? And so you have to start thinking systematically. Yeah, you're the one that needs to be on those sales calls, those discovery calls, those strategy sessions. You need to be the one running the workshop. You need to be the one showing up on Facebook Live because that's building relationships. But you don't need to be the one putting in your blog post. You don't need to be the one adding your email to your email management system. You don't need to be the one that's scheduling your social media, right? So, with that said, I do want to share, I have an outsourcing guide for you. Let me figure out where I can turn that on. There we go. KarenPattock.com/outsource guide. So I created this guide, if you so choose to outsource, that helps make it a win-win situation between you and the person you're hiring. And that's like a general VA, that's someone that's going to help you week after week, or if you're just doing a project by project, like someone that might design a logo or design some type of graphic for you, right? That's a different, they're both hiring people. And so I've put together this guide based on, I've hired so many people over the years, my experience with how to make it a win-win. Because here's the thing, virtual support, virtual help, virtual assistants in whatever capacity they come, they want to make you happy. They want you to be a repeat customer. They want to do whatever you want them to do. They want to be that person. But if you don't give good direction, you can't just hire someone for social media and then be hands off and then be upset because they're not getting the right kind of content. You've got to work with them and nurture them. And it's the same when I hire someone, let's say on Fiverr, to create some social media graphics. I'm going to give them examples of what I want. I'm going to have screenshots of things that I want, and so they can see the kind of design that I like, right? And so if you grab this guide, KarenPattock.com/outsource guide, you will see I walk you through step by step how to make sure that it is a successful transaction, both for you and the virtual assistant. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to keep looking at your questions. Shirley, how do you create an effective system when you are starting out your coaching business before you can hire someone? So Shirley, it's exactly what I shared, and it's exactly what I did. I started combining tasks, and let's say, excuse me, when I went to my coaching calls were only on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hang on, guys, I need a drink. My coaching calls were only on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and so I had a system. I had a pre-call form that my client would fill out. So when I got on the call, I didn't need them to say to me, Karen, I did this, I had this problem, this went well, I want to talk about this. I already knew all of that because I had the pre-call form filled out. So we could hit the ground running on the coaching call. I had a system during the coaching call. Then I had a follow-up. I always would send them their action items. I'd go over their action items with them on the call, but then I would always follow up with an email. So I had a system. So when you have, anytime you put a system in place, you get faster and faster and faster at that system. You're not recreating the wheel. So surely what I recommend for you is start looking for those things that you're doing over and over that you can systematize. Okay, let's just say for now you're still doing your social media. Okay, how can you systematize it? Well, maybe you pick 5 topics that you just rinse and repeat every single week. Okay, you have one on your program, you have one on that's a quote graphic, there's one on your new blog every week, whatever. So you have the 5 topics, rinse and repeat. And so when you're thinking about social media and things pop up in your head between like work sessions, you can just make a quick note. Oh, this week on the quote graphic, I want this. And so if you can systematize anything, I know that on Sundays at 4 o'clock, I have an hour. Okay, I'm gonna whip up my social media in that hour. That's a system. You're doing it the same time, same day every week. That's a system. You use the same process. That's a system, right? So you start to look for areas that you can systematize. You start looking, as we said, for all the areas you can say no. If it's not generating revenue, if it's not adding people to your email list, if it's not actually building relationships, and I don't consider all social media just because you post and you get a few likes, that is not building a relationship. That does not make a relationship builder, right? That's vanity metrics. There is no, and believe me, I'm struggling with this myself. I'm frustrated with social media a lot. I love this kind of interaction. My goal is constantly to build this group. I love this because this is coaching. This is real. This is right. We're in a relationship right now. Me posting on Instagram and getting 10 or 12 likes based on some weird algorithm that I don't even know how to, make my post more viewable. It's like that is a waste of my time. This is not a waste of my time. This is very important to me. Hopefully that helps, Shirley. Um, let's see. Lucy, you look great. Thanks, Lucy. If you would have seen my hair this morning, okay, I have to tell you, this is so funny. So, yesterday I took a shower and it has been raining cats and dogs here in Michigan for the last few days. We had some horrific storms that came through last night, bad, took down parts of a tree in our yard. I mean, super bad. And so my hair was just drying and it's so humid here. Oh my gosh. And so I just went to bed with wet hair. And this morning my hair was like, because I have super curly hair if I just let it dry. So I just took the blow dryer. I just blew dry it out about an hour ago. So that's so funny. Thank you for saying that because whew, I had to laugh. Like I saw myself in the mirror this morning. I was like, whoa, you don't even look like yourself because your hair is so big. Anyway, that's just a side story. Um, so okay, so Roxana, at the same time, we need to be known on social media before we get paying clients, right? Not necessarily. So that's what I'm saying. There are people running 6 and 7 figure businesses that have a couple thousand people on social media. I guarantee they're not getting their clients from social media. They have a presence. There's probably somebody on their staff that is posting once in a while, but they are not relying on social media for their client attraction, and neither should you. Neither should you. It should be part of your overall strategy, but let's put it in a priority, like the priority as you as a CEO. I'll talk about me. So, my number one priority is making sure I have programs that I can sell, right? Number one priority. Number two priority is how do I get the word out about those programs? How do I get the word out about those programs or whatever I'm going to be promoting? I was promoting BBD as an affiliate. Okay. How am I going to get the word out about that? Well, I'm going to start talking about James Wedmore. I'm going to start telling my story of how he changed my life. I'm going to start talking about the program. And then I'm going to talk about my bonus experience, right? So there's a plan in place. All of those things are all me. That's how I'm going to get a revenue driver in my business. Next up, the podcast. So important. That drives so much traffic to my business. And how I know is because I create freebies for those podcast episodes. That means I'm growing my email list. Your email list is the number one asset in your business. Number one asset in your business because you own it. You are not falling prey to any weird algorithm or someone gets a bug up their butt about what you can say about health and wellness and what you can't say about health and wellness on any given platform, right? And so I just saw this week that Pinterest has now barred all ads, all paid ads that have anything to do with health and wellness. What? I mean, okay. So the deal is, I know that the podcast is not being censored. It's not being put out by any algorithm. I know that if I'm giving good content and I'm making an offer of a free download, I know that's going to grow my list. Growing my list is way high up on my priorities as a business owner. Social media is falling, down here. It keeps changing based on what's happening, and it keeps getting lower and lower on my priority list. I'm not going to give up on social media, but I am definitely not going to rely on it. Now, I do spend money every month on paid advertising. I think that's a great investment when you're ready. When you're ready. I don't think it is something right off the get-go that you need to be focused on. I'd rather see you grow grow a Facebook group that you can build relationships and then get people like that on your email list. Okay. So I have my program in place, but my few followers want everything free. Where can we rely on then? So listen, if one thing I always say is when you are thinking about your niche, and this is where we're going to wrap up. So make sure you grab the guide, KarenPattock.com/outsource guide. But this is a great question. They want everything for free. Then you're not attracting the right people. There's a problem. So you are either giving the impression that you are only doing this as a hobby and you're not a business. You are attracting people that they want the information, but they're not really willing to invest in their own transformation, which I suspect this is probably what it is. Or you are not clear on your messaging. And it could be a combination of a few of those, or all three maybe. The idea is for someone to be a marketable ideal client, they number one need to know they have a problem. They may not be dialed in on exactly the official diagnosis, but they know they have a problem. Next, they're looking for help to support them. They're looking for answers. Okay. Number three, they are willing to invest in their transformation. They're actually willing to invest. Number four, they have the money to invest. So somewhere in here, that is something that you're doing is attracting the wrong people, because there are lots of people out there that want free information, but those people are not either A, willing to invest, or B, have the money to invest, right? And so you need to be clear with your people that, okay, what I'm sharing with you is the what, but my program is the how. And so I think this is you again, Roxana, right? Hang on, let me see. For whatever reason, that last comment isn't coming up. But I think this is you, Roxana. The thing is that if you're giving too much away, then you're giving the how, and this goes for all of you. If you're giving the how away, then there's no need for them to buy your program. And I have made this mistake so many times, like doing webinars and workshops. I give away so much. I want everybody to feel so good. And then they walk away going, well, I'm going to just implement what she already told me. Like, I don't want anything else. I don't need anything else. I'm going to see how it goes with this. That's the wrong approach. You want to help them get clearer on the problem that they have. You want to help them get clearer on the fact that you can support them. These are things you should be doing with your time, but not giving away the how. The how is inside your program, and getting them from giving that information or clearing up for them that they have a problem that you can help them solve and getting them into the paid program. That is something only you can do. So that's where you should be spending your time. And it is possible that you just need to refine either your approach or refine your niche. All right, guys, so here's the moral of the story as we wrap up. Every single yes that you give to one thing in your business is a no somewhere else, or maybe even many no's somewhere else. So take a step back, think about what I've shared with you today, and try to use a 30,000 foot view of your business. And every time you find yourself saying, yeah, but how am I going to do that? Yeah, but how am I going to do that? Don't worry about that. Not right now. Right now, I want you to be an observer of your business. I want you to put on your strategy hat, your strategic hat, and I want you to say, okay, how am I, if I were helping somebody else with this problem and this business and this definition and this outline, what exactly would I be telling them to do? And then I want you to come back into the group and post underneath this and tell me like what you came up with, because I love sharing this information, but then I love like, oh, okay, this is what I found out. So come back and share with me what you came up with. Okay. All right, you are welcome, Roxana. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. Make sure you grab the guide, KarenPattock.com/outsource guide. I will post that link in the description by this video. If you're watching on the replay, you can just click the link and grab it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And then next week, next Thursday, we'll be digging in deeper on the granular, like day-to-day, week-to-week, how to go about setting up your schedule, no matter how much time you have. If you have 3 hours a week or you have 40 hours a week, we're going to be talking about how to do that. And so you can get more done in less time. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.